First things first, P-Cube just announced the sequel to the very well received Silent Hill and Resident Evil inspired survival horror game Tormented Souls 2 will now be coming to the PCs in the next generation of consoles early next year. If you missed out on the original game, just remember, Tormented Souls got every bit of good elements as the Resident Evil and the first Silent Hill games did, and it's been awarded multiple times since its release. Just take a look. A couple weeks ago, at the Game Awards, we finally came across the Dead by Daylight's developers' new work, called The Casting of Frank Stone. Basically the team's first attempt at a single-player narrative survival horror game, and all we know is that it's coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles sometime next year. That's it.
The hungry purple dinosaur ate the kind zingy fox, the jabbering crab, and the mad whale, and started bending and quacking.
The hungry purple dinosaur ate the kind zingy fox.
If you missed out on its original reveal, for a few months now, there was a rumor of a new Hideo Kojima IP to literally no avail, but the Game Awards brought us what we were waiting for in the form of OD, or Overdose. This is just a cinematic trailer, in case you're wondering, maybe in-game footage. OD is promising to be more than a video game, but that's it.
And started bending and quacking.
Inspired by the Silent Hill PT, and as developers stated, the Allison Road game from a few years ago, at number 4 we have a first-person psychological survival horror game here in the making called Super Normal. You see, in Super Normal you play as a detective who was tasked with finding clues about a woman's missing and supposedly dead daughter. The game is coming to PCs only on January 8 next year. Sitting on Steam through a demo, this was actually announced only days ago. At number 5 we have the Crimson Maid. Some of you might remember this team's last work going by the name Last Days of Lazarus, which was a first-person puzzle horror game. Personally loved that game. Crimson Maid is pretty much more of the same, just a bit more romantic, but also a mystery horror. There's a trailer. The game is coming out soon, we hear. Coming as this developer's first work, announced a few months ago, but finally, we got some in-game footage here. The Spare Blood Curse is a third-person survival horror puzzle thriller about a protagonist named Anna, who receives a letter from her mom and then decides to visit her, but then, as you can see, she has to deal with much more than just her mom. Anyway, the game is coming to PCs only on January 10 next year. Announced a few months ago, in case you missed it, coming from the same developers of the Amnesia games. At number 7, we've got a Unreal Engine 5 narrative horror adventure first person going by the name Still Wakes the Deep. This game is set in 1975 and has a rather similar theme to the movie Shining, except it takes place in the middle of the ocean. Check it out in case you missed it. The game is coming out early next year. Sitting on Steam with overwhelmingly positive scores and over 30,000 reviews. At number 8, we've got Red Barrel's long-awaited Outcast Trials. This is a PvE and match-based and single-player survival thriller that's also playable with up to 4 players. Trial is at the moment in early access phase. Technically, it feels like a finished game. It's a PC exclusive, but then promised to be coming to both generation of consoles as well when it's finished on March 5 next year.
Sabotage the court, kill the judge, and we will let you out.
Don't you fucking hear me? Then why is she on trial?
For those of you into Lovecraftian's horror games, we've got here the first work of its publishers, developers, a psychological survival horror game, a new IP called Numata. It's a detective noir horror game wherein you're investigating a city site, basically trying to figure out the disappearance of several reported individuals in a village. This is a puzzle horror game in portions and a first-person shooter as well. Game's coming to PCs only early next year. I'm pretty sure most of you know that Konami doesn't just have one Silent Hill game in the making. We've already had hands on the Ascension, and I've already mentioned this before, but since we've got an update, there's like 2 more Silent Hill games in the making, and a next-gen console exclusive amongst a bunch, going by Silent Hill F. This game is set to take the setting into Japan, and for that reason it's actually being developed by a Taiwanese-based studio to make it more Asian. Here's a trailer. Silent Hill F doesn't have a release date just yet.
Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
THQ Nordic also just came up with an update on Alone in the Dark. It's a classic detective noir, almost horror adventure game that was revealed a year ago. Now, about a detective duo in a haunted house who are both searching for answers about this mansion's owner. You all remember the Alone in the Dark games? They actually started the fixed camera in the survival horror genre, which then was picked up by the Resident Evil games. This remake, however, is in third person. It's a puzzle horror game in nature, and it's going to be coming out March 20.
Are you... Is this your store?
There are no owners here. We both strangers in Jeremy's story. Are you a thinking man, compare?
No, not if I can help it.
You know, I think Jeremy's hiding in a way we can't find him. He has this juju necklace that guides him.
The talisman?
Earlier in the month, around the Game Awards, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered got a trailer featuring in-game combat, the survival modes, and a few new additions as well. In case you missed out on the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is graphically improved. It also offers additional skins, new story content, and a very cool randomly generated survival. This game is coming to the PlayStation 5 only, January 19.
I think I found something. The passcode to Sector B, 1673.
Nice job, Nick.
Announced around August this year, although first revealed over a year ago. At number 13 we have Level 0. Level 0 is an asymmetrical survival horror PvP about a team of scientists that are tasked with repairing an electrical malfunction on a spaceship after a pretty long journey. I mean, like 20 years into the future, which is where they notice that this problem is just more than a systemic error. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs and all consoles as well sometime next year.
Fuck!
David, try to move with a flare. It hurts them badly.
Roger that.
David, I found the repair kit, but you need to hurry up.
I'm almost there. Sean, be careful. They're coming from your direction.
Oh, shit, David. I hear them. David, I need your help.
Hold on just a little longer. I'm opening the gates.
Attention, critical overload. Backup power failure.
Oh, shit! Sean!
Coming from from the same team who brought Dave the Diver. Number 14, we have a game called Naquan Last Paradise, which is a third-person zombie apocalypse stealth survival game that promises to let you experience a new form of post-apocalyptic life. I mean, not really, it's just what they promise. By that, it means that it's a survival rescue management PvP mostly, where zombies and survivors coexist, and you all gotta fight for whatever's just left. Take a look.
Task Force needs critical thinking and precise execution, not impulsive action. Our actions must be dictated by facts and logic.
Coming up behind that at number 15, we have a pretty interesting concept here, exactly what the title suggests. A new game here called the Math Problem Killer, which is basically a crime-themed, math-based dungeon crawler, in which the player assumes the role of a serial killer task force special agent that must traverse dungeons by solving complicated math word problems created by a serial killer in order to rescue a hostage. Check it out, the game's going to be coming out on PCs only January 22nd.
Killer wants you to fail. Never forget that. He will give you multiple facts. Some will be completely irrelevant to the problem presented, while others will be critical. Think through the problem. Use your head. And get the hostage out alive.
Kochaneczku, pomóż kobiecie w potrzebie. Uważaj tam na siebie.
Number 16, I believe the one time we mentioned this one was like December last year, but it's finally here with a demo on Steam. Holstein is a 2D, 3D asymmetric pixel art and survival horror game made, as its developers stated, to capture the feeling of a retro horror game with modern elements. I mean, like, it's a top-down pixel-based survival horror game with first-person portions in action. Go figure.
Normally, I'd charge for revealing state secrets. But I need your help, Ivan. So, this one is free. One of the classified projects at the biolab involved rats and spiders for something the professor called the ultimate coronavirus vector.
Sitting on Steam with a demo, once again. Vorax here was an open-world survival horror game set on an island in the eastern Mediterranean where a military laboratory has been making a lot of experiments, and because of that, there's now all kinds of mutations and monsters all over the place. Your job over here is to uncover the terrible source of these incidents and just put an end to this nonsense. Vorax here is coming to PCs only, early to mid next year. It's actually being able to use of Unreal Engine 5 as well.
Tear you apart day or night. I told Dad and his handlers in DC not to play God. So, watch your back 24/7, Ivan. Especially in open fields. These fuckers swarm like they're auditioning for a horror game. You know, those games where you're ambushed by hordes of monsters and freaks? Yeah, well, that's our reality now.
And last but not least, announced 2 months ago and now sitting on Steam through a demo, we've got over here Crow Country, a survival horror adventure, 90s or PlayStation inspired classic. What would you get by mixing maybe Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII, the original game? You're probably looking at what that result would look like, which is something never put to the test, I believe. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs and the PlayStation consoles only sometime next year.